Good people, welcome to my channel. My name is Shiyelia in Korea. Today I'm going to talk about a very interesting topic that affects every African person. Motorcycles are moving around and making noise. Anyway, this topic about how I managed like text. Wow, my internet is flashing. I saw my video flashing like wow. I hope I'll manage to film well because things are just acting up. Anyway, this topic is one of the most talked about topic here in the diaspora. If anyone is resident in the diaspora, you know this is one of the topics which is forever being talked about. And if you don't know what black text is, I'll just explain in my own understanding. Black text is whereby uh, you are expected to give something to the family, like it's almost like mandatory. That's my explanation of black text. Even if you don't have the money, like you just have to give. Like that's the African setup kind of life. We just have to give back to the family. That's what I understand about black text. It's more than helping your family out whenever they have problems, or it's more than just chipping in some finances to the family, but there's just that constant asking requests for resources, especially monetary, which occurs between you, the person in the diaspora, and your family. Believe me, even if you're a student, family members, they all come up to you. And there's no way you should say no if you're in the diaspora. That's what happened. That's what happens mostly if you're in the diaspora. This black text thing is something else. Hello, sister. Hello, cool gamer. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. Hi, Sister Tekla Nancy. How are you? Thank you so much for coming. How is Dubai? Thank you, thank you. I see you did thumbs up. Please do thumbs up if you see my live stream. Yeah. So me, how I managed black text. Oh, thank you so much, sister. You're so kind. So before I go into the stories of how I managed black text, I will just do a brief insight of what's coming next on my channel. More posts I will put on the community post. This month of August, which is starting next week, I'll be talking about scholarships. I'll talk about all types of scholarships in shorts and videos. I don't think I'll do any live stream in August. I think I'll just stick to maybe doing one live stream. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because right now I have to make many videos for scholarships. I want to make many shorter videos, many little bit long, not more than 10 minutes, or just average less than 15 minutes video, informative, explaining in detail how to get scholarships, because people always ask me about scholarships when scholarships deadlines are already like when application periods are over. People start asking me about scholarships. Even if I post about them, they still ask after deadline, and they would look like they're in a hurry. So anyway, I will come up with some ways so that people will not miss scholarship. Whenever they ask for a scholarship, they can start preparing their document anytime they start asking, because most scholarships are recurring. So August onwards, I don't think I'll do any live stream. If I'll do live stream, end of month live stream, the last Friday of August, I think that's when I'll do a live stream. Yeah, that's my plan for my channel. Thank you so much for the support. I see you're supporting me so well. I see you supporting me on my shorter videos, and yeah, the engagement is really quite getting better. So thank you so much. So please share about scholarships. Definitely next week it will be about scholarships. So if you know the content is not maybe matching what you expect, just keep commenting on my community posts, suggesting other topics that you plan to see on my channel. And also please share to those who you think they want to study in Korea. I think I've said enough about what's coming next. So if you don't see me live here, definitely you'll see videos running here. I'll try and concentrate on our second channel, Symbols in Korea, to make content for scholarships. So not to confuse people that I do long live streams here. These days, no live streams, no long live streams on Shiyelia in Korea because we have gained the watch hour. I have to concentrate on the videos. So thank you so much. Hello, Sister Elizabeth. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. So let me go into the story because I only have around 20 minutes to tell the story, and then the rest of the 5 minutes is shout out. So when I came to Korea as a student, I told you many times I was on a partial scholarship, so my allowance was very little. But those days, I think that's when WhatsApp just came and I didn't have a phone. So as you know, by the time I was leaving Zimbabwe, most of my relatives, like black text covers your immediate family, your relatives, sometimes even friends can even try to get something from you. Like, yeah, they just expect you to support them financially, not borrowing. No, they just expect that as a friend, you have to give them something. So anyway, let me get to the story. For me, when I came to Korea, I didn't have much. And okay, my siblings, I wanted to talk about my siblings and my relatives. They were giving me that message of saying, oh, at least now you are going to be in Korea, abroad in the diaspora, so definitely we'll be looking forward to get some goodies over that side. Those kind of messages where people just tell you indirectly that we are expecting to get money from you. They don't even consider that you're coming as a student. They just tell you plainly that we are expecting some goodies. So for me, when I first came, most of them, they knew my condition of my scholarship, that I was not even getting enough. So for me to even ask money from them was impossible because that time Zimbabwe was struggling to get back to the dollarization. So if I would ask money from developing country for sponsorship from family, it would cost them a lot. I mean, like, they are the ones who needed the money most, so I never asked any money. So time went on for a while when I didn't have a phone at all. So whenever there were problems, maybe in the family, like in the whole lineage, father side, mother side, yeah, even my family, like, yeah, if there were problems, I would just hear in messages to say, oh, this and this happened, or this and this happened. So because I didn't have anything, like nothing, no one even expected anything from me. But then as time went on, I started getting a little bit finances also because I was working some part-times and whatsoever. And myself knowing where I was coming from, I was like, it was a while that I never sent any resources back home. Let me just give a little that I have. So I sent. So that time, I think it was the beginning of my problems. Black tech wise, because they were expecting even more, and they started even giving me their problems. If it's relatives, they started calling me, telling me things, messaging me their problems. And some of them, I was even surprised that they started talking to me when I came to Korea. But when I was in Zimbabwe, they never talked to me as relatives. So whenever they came, they want to borrow me money. I know borrowing is not part of black tax, but somehow some of them, when they borrow, it's like they never return the money. I remember one incident. One of my dear family member, one of my cousins came to me and say, "Oh, I don't have school fees for my child. Please help me." Hey, Miss Kind, I gave the money. To get that money, she was telling me stories after stories, stories after stories. So for me to get that money, I think I ended up just saying that money is supposed to be for my younger brother. He should use it for his tuition also in school. So that's how I got the money. But I was like, wow, she was almost not going to give me my money. Like, that's family problems, right? So as time went on, some of the problems I was getting were not real. Like I could sense these are man-made problems, like exaggerated type of finances that they may say a problem, but the amount of money that will be quoted will be maybe 3 times or even several times more than the reality. Like, and I will be like, I'm just a student here, and these kind of problems. Like initially, I didn't complain. Like it will just depend, like who is telling me about the problems. If it's my siblings, definitely I would try my best. But when it comes to relatives, I was like, there should be a difference between my siblings, my close family members, and my relatives. There should be a big difference. Like if I contribute for our extended family things, and when I contribute to my immediate family, it should show a real difference. I shouldn't spend much resources to extended family stuff. Like, yeah. So anyway, hi sister Gwen. Hi, how are you? Good morning, because now it's night this side. Good morning. Sister Gwen is saying hello everyone. Thank you so much, Sister Gwen, for coming. So for me, how I managed as a student, I've said there were times I would just tell that this kind of problem is just exaggerated. It's all lies and whatsoever. And some things, what happened was, the time it was early days when I came to Korea, and I was here for a short time. Like I was just going to stay for 3.5 years and then graduate and go to my country. So they thought some of the problems that I was given to sponsor or finance, they thought I was forgetting of them. They thought that way. So for me, if you give out your money, you gave money for this, you gave money for this, and and mark in your head that, oh, this kind of problems is already solved. So I don't know if it was to say it was a lucky or a problem, but somehow there was a time I even knew me myself, I knew I need some things to also pamper myself, like that kind of life of trying to budget to meet the needs of your siblings. That's the big big issue when it comes to black tax. You should always budget to meet the needs of your siblings, because they can come anytime they can just call and say they need money for this, they need money for that. And sometimes you can't even say no, because sometimes it will be genuine problems, and sometimes there will be man-made problems, or just some kind of a silly request, like sponsoring cousins' birthday or their children's birthdays, something that they can do for themselves. So Anyway, let me cut the story short. I'll try and do a shorter video about this. But for now, I'll say there was a time when I was supposed to go home in 2015 after my graduation. So I'm one person, when I do something monetary wise, I remember. If I help someone, I remember, because it's money, like I just know I get. So when I get home, there was I was taking like to see some of the problems that I was told, that we have a problem of this, a problem of that. And to my surprise, that problem is not even solved, but you sponsored for that project or that problem. And when you look at the people, you see they are dressing so well, they are moving with fashion. And I got to think and say, what was going on here? Like, that mini project I sponsored, it's like a mess. Nothing is done. Like, I was like, wow. And even to even understand how those things were happening, I cancelled myself to say to myself, I should have eaten my money myself than to sponsor other people's fashion sprees or their fancy lifestyle. Yeah, no problems. Most of the problems were not solved at all. Even there were even more problems that needed money. And I was like, why? Why is this happening to me? Thank you. Thank you. How Jackie does it. Thank you so much. Welcome. I see you, Sister Tekla Nancy. Thank you. So I knew I was going to come back to Korea, but the time I came, I was in Zimbabwe that time. I had a wake-up call to myself to say, look at what is happening here. You give resources, and resources are not being used for the things that they even ask for. Like, and I was like, if ever I am going back to Korea, because I was coming back to Korea, I told myself I would try to eat well, dress well, enjoy, go out and enjoy, not to live a life like a stranded student trying to sponsor projects which are not even being solved at all or being fulfilled. So yeah, I just told myself, if I go back to Korea, I am just gonna be concentrating on myself, because I felt so shortchanged. And there are even sometimes when some of the people, relatives or family members, they forgot that I assisted them with so much money, and they were telling me, I don't know how they had forgotten. They were saying, "Oh, this and this, we got it for free." And me to think I sponsored more than maybe several $100 for the thing, and they're even telling me that they got it for free. And I'm like, wow, they already forgotten. So me, I was like, yeah, I felt so shortchanged. So the time I came back to Korea in 2016, the game changed. I was like, I will not sponsor any funny projects that I don't see proof. Like, I don't sponsor any funny project that I don't see proof. And at least if someone is asking me to sponsor them for something, they should come up with receipts, pictures, show me the project, the progress, everything. Make me believe. Even before you start the project, show me what you are doing so that I understand it. Because I was like, I am here as a student again. Like, I am here as a student. Why am I sponsoring people again over and over for their fashion sprees, for their fancy lifestyle. I said no. I put a stop to those things. But anyway, as you know, Black families or African families, you just have to sponsor back. That's black tax every time there's maybe some funerals in the long extended families. You have to sponsor something. If there's some party or weddings, you have to sponsor something, because one day is one day you're also going to wed. So you don't want to be listed in the black book to say she is not sponsoring. So whichever way, you just have to sponsor. Hi, Lady P Zim. How are you? How are you? Oh, thank you so much. Lady P, Sister Gwen is saying hello. So anyway, I'll try and do a short video of how I managed black tax, but I tell you, from the time I came back to Korea in 2016, because I just went home for 6 months, those 6 months taught me that this thing of black tax or giving back to the family can kill people. Like, it can starve you. You can starve trying to sponsor their projects, which are non-existent. Actually, they have real problems which need to be solved, but they just ignore them and eat the money. Buy their fashion, eat the money, and forget about it. But they know if you're in diaspora, if they just say, oh, our main water pipe is broken, water is coming out now, and then they'll show you a picture and they'll be like, oh, it's really broken, how to do? And then you send money. Don't think they will even go and get the best those people who fix water supply. No, they'll get the cheap one and the problem remains forever. So yeah, it was like that, like the kind of problems that I used to solve before, those silly problems that can cost maybe $10 to $20, but they will even opt for someone who can fix it for $5, and then next month again or 2 months later again, same problem, start again, similar problem, like over and over, and you'll be like, what's wrong? Like, really, what's wrong? Not only the water problem, this is just a simple example, but sometimes you just see yourself, I'm paying for the same problem every time. I'm giving resources for the same problem over and over. It's good to see you, everyone, talking in the chat. So let me close this story saying, I'll try and, after I do the videos for the students' scholarships in August, I'll bring back this topic and do shorter videos to show the reality of what we go through as students as we manage with this black tax thing. It's so real. Like, sometimes when I listen to other people's stories, I put my story aside and think, I thought I'm the only one coming from an extended family where I have to send money every time. Like, every month there is something, even up to now. Okay, Sister Nancy, thank you so much. I'll do shout out to you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Lady P, black tax is something else. I don't know how many business ideas I sponsored from several relatives and siblings. I sponsored several businesses that I never saw profit or loss. And if, let's say, I need something, someone is coming to Korea, they'll just say, okay, what do you want? And then I write my list, and then they'll ask me for the money. Even simple mangai or whatsoever, that thing really kills my heart to say, I do everything. I sponsor all your mini projects. I sponsor everything. If I need something, someone coming to Korea, you don't even put mufushwa for me. Even dry vegetables. I'm like, even dry corn, simple things, dry groundnut. Like, ooh, They are so stingy, and yet they are the ones who are always receiving. I think it was 2 weeks ago when some ladies were talking about this black tax. I used to think I was very shortchanged by my family members and my relatives. But I was like, no, I think my situation is actually better. That's what I resolved. I told myself, I think I don't have a problem actually. Because some people actually say their family members crooked them big, several thousands of dollars for some projects that they said they were going to do together to get profit. And I was like, hey. I was like, hey. And the moment me, like, I would do shorter videos. For me, like, if I notice that someone is coming to tell to me there's a stand going for this amount, there's this project, if you do this, we'll get profit in 1 month, in 2 months, whatsoever, I'll stay away because I know it will amount to nothing. You don't see the profit, you don't see the loss, you don't see anything. And the time you sponsor that project, they stop talking to you completely. And when they are running dry again, they'll come back to say, oh, my business is down. Can you please boost me? When you boost them, they'll go quiet. And I'm like, this cycle, this kind of cycle, which comes over and over of me boosting people's businesses. And when I was a student, I like, it was when oh, thank you, sisters. Thank you. It was when I graduated in 2019, when I sat down and say, if I were going home, really, I have nothing in terms of savings. Not that I didn't want to save, but I just knew whatever I was getting was not enough for me. But I was supporting left, right, and center, cousin's child, whoever's what, whoever's wedding, whoever's funeral, whoever's what, like left, right, and center, supporting. And I was like canceling myself to say, me, where am I heading to? Like from 2019, that's when I received another wake-up call. When I finished my studies and I said, I'm going to go back home and I have nothing to even say I was in diaspora. And these people will laugh at me. And they're even good at laughing. They laugh at you and they always even tell you or provoke you to say, do a project, man. Why are you just there in Korea? Like, do something. They come up with these fancy ideas. You will make profit, do it. Will help you to do that business. I'm like, are you businessman? Like, are you businessman? Like the way you are advising me to start a business. And even some of them, you can hear them at family gatherings say, oh, this one doesn't have anything. She's not doing anything for a family. Like, they want tangible, something to show that someone is in diaspora. I received a wake-up call in 2019. Like, no more nonsense. Even when I was a student from 2016 to 2019 to 2018, yeah, I was like, not anymore. I don't want to be used. I don't want to sponsor people's birthdays, like old cousins and their children. They want birthday cake from me, and I send. Can you imagine the whole clan asking for birthday cake, money, whatsoever present, some silly kind of things? And I was like, am I being used? So from 2019, really, it was a huge wake-up call that I said, okay, enough is enough. I was doing things for people. I will genuinely help if there is real need that I see with my own eyes, not to be used when I'm opening my eyes. No. Let me read Lady Peace comment and then I have to close the video because I said 30 minutes. You send the money and you have to call them again because they don't have data. Exactly. Like me, I don't ask them, like friends and relatives and family. I don't ask them why they don't call me, or I don't ask them why they are not available on WhatsApp calling or whatsoever. I just keep quiet. I don't ask, because the moment I ask, they say they don't have data. But then you go and see them posting lots of pictures, lots of videos on their WhatsApp status, lots of pictures, lots of videos on Facebook. No, but like, to me, they say they don't have data for calling and whatsoever. But hey, they want me to give them the money so that I can call them. African families, I will come back with shorter videos. Thank you so much, beautiful sisters. Let me do shout out. That was how I managed. Like, I just had to come to terms with myself to say, if I'm helping, I better help, but leave something for myself. I don't have to outdo myself every time sponsoring everyone's project, sponsoring every problem. No. Some problems I just ignore also. I just say I don't have. Because the mentality of people in Africa, or even some of the relatives who are not even in Africa, they think if you're in a developed country, you're the one who has the most amount of money. And worse still, I forgot to say this point, if you are even a single lady or a single man, hey, they will just even say, what do you use your money for? Because you don't have a child. What do you use your money for? Your money is ready to sponsor them. So you can't even say no. You can't say you don't have because you're single. That thing really breaks my heart. Like, I'm like, me being single doesn't mean I don't have needs and wants. I have lots of them, even much more than your family. So don't rule me to say I have to sponsor your things because I'm single. Me being single is by choice. Like, I will get married eventually someday, but don't misuse me or abuse me to say I'm a sponsor for your project. Because I'm single, I have to be having money ready to dispense. If you want to borrow, I have to give you the money. I don't have to say no. I put a stop to those nonsense things over time. So thank you so much, good people, for watching. Thank you so much, good cool gamer. Thank you, Sister Tekla Nancy. Thank you so much. Major shout out to you. Major shout out to Sister Elizabeth. Major shout out to Sister Gwen. Life of GCV Gwen. Major shout out to you. Major shout out to Sister Jackie. How Jackie does it. Thank you so much, beautiful sisters. Major shout out to Lady Kizim. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much, Lady P. Yeah, now I have to rest. Thank you. Wow. Thank you so much. I saw many comments. This topic definitely it deserves to be outlined in a precise, shorter way. I'll try and do a shorter video in the next, maybe that will be September, because August it's scholarships only. Scholarships until people know about Korean scholarships. And I know if I would do scholarships intensively, it will help people to always just apply for scholarships. Anytime they think they want to study in Korea, they can just initiate their applications, because I will explain how it works. So it's like scholarships are always there, but it's the application period that you should submit your documents. So yeah, thank you so much, good people. I better leave this live stream. I know you want to talk, but let me stop from here. And yeah, my memberships are also open. If you want to join, please join, and everyone is welcome to be a member. Everyone on my channel is also welcome to suggest any topic that you want me to talk about. But in the future, the live streams, some of them may be for the members only, depending on the topic. So thank you so much, Sister Betha. Hi. You just came when I'm leaving. Thank you so much. I have to leave. This is 35 minutes, good people. Check you in my next video. Thank you so much. Ciao, ciao, good people.